one should understand, every body, may it be regular shape or irregular shape on earth, will possess a particular point. So it's an imaginary point. Now, what type of point I'm talking about when I'm talking about center of mass? It's a hypothetical point where I'm going to suppose or imagine that the entire mass of the body is concentrated. Such point I will call it as center of mass. So if I want to define center of mass, friends, the definition would be the point at which whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. Now, why you are supposing that or why you are imagining that? Obviously, because we need to study the motion of the body, and obviously in accordance with Newton's laws. We need to, you know, concentrate the entire body to a particular point, and we call that point as center of mass. So whatever would be the analysis for motion for center of mass would be the analysis for the motion of the body. So whatever that body may it be of regular shape or may it be of irregular shape. Now, how to understand the concept of center of mass? Okay, so for that we have an example. Okay, but before we talk about example, what we can say is the interpretation of the statement which we have made. So what is it according to the statement in the top? It is a unique point, okay, whose motion is similar to the motion of that body. Therefore, we are concentrating the entire mass at center, basically. Oh yeah, fine. So if I want to analyze the motion of the body, I will analyze the motion of center of mass. Okay, and that too, the analysis would be in accordance with Newton's laws of motion. So that's why we consider such point. Okay, so when I'm using the word suppose, that means we are just imagining it that way, right? Where center of mass will be concentrated. Okay, so according to then center of mass, what are we doing? We are just assuming the entire body being replaced by a single particle, and we are assuming that the mass of that particle and the mass of the entire body, they are the same. That's our assumption. Now, why are we doing this? Obviously, for the sake of analysis, we need to analyze motion. We analyze motion well, then we can develop automobiles, and that industry comes into picture there on it. So please make a note of this very interesting and important point. Okay, center of mass, friends. Once you are done with it, let me know so that we move ahead in this direction. Okay, let me see. So most of you say yes, done. Okay, fine. So let's move ahead then. Okay, so we have defined center of mass as a point where the whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated, and the reason is we need to study the motion of that body in accordance with Newton's laws, basically. Okay, let's move ahead. What can be the examples or how to understand concept of center of mass? So for that, we can talk about a coin, basically. Okay. When a coin moves on a smooth surface, you can see there would be many points which would be performing two types of motion. Okay, one is because the coin is rotating, the particle of the coin or the points on the coin would be performing rotational motion. Because the coin is moving forward, then those points also will perform translational motion. But there will be a single point in that entire coin which won't perform rotational motion, it will only perform translational motion. What about the other points? They will perform both rotational as well as translational. But there would be a single point which would be performing only a straight line motion or translational motion. Yeah, the point where, this point where, which moves only in the translational direction, it performs translational motion, basically we call that point as center of mass. So now how to depict such point? Obviously, for a homogeneous And regular shapes, the center of mass has to lie at the geometrical center, friends. Okay, whatever would be the geometrical center. And when it comes to, a body with an irregular shape, or in a distorted shape, we will find out the procedure how we work out center of mass in that case as well. Another example can be of a rod having two spheres attached to it. Now you set the rod in motion, then you can see except one point, all the points are going to perform both the motions. Just take an example of fan. All the points on the fan will perform rotational. It won't perform translational motion, but yeah, but if the coin is moving, the rod is moving forward, yeah, they will perform translational motion also. But except one point, okay, and that point is called as center of mass. And what that point is going to do, it will only perform translational motion. How to work out these points, how to find out center of mass of the body, that's the real trick basically. So this is a concept, right? So please make a note of it, and then we will try formulating certain things so far as center of mass of the body is concerned. Once you are done with it, let me know so that we move ahead. Yes, so most of you say yes. So let's move ahead then. There we are talking about various methods of determining center of mass. How do we determine center of mass? That's an interesting thing. Let's say we are talking about a system which consists of two mass particles, M1 and M2, and their position vectors are, say, R1 bar. Okay, so you can see R1 and a direction mentioned over here. Yeah. Okay, just give me your feedback because the internet connection was not stable. Please let me know if I'm audible and the screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, great, great. Fine, fine. No problem. Then we are talking about a system of two masses, M1 and M2, and their position vectors are R1 bar and R2 bar. Okay, so here you can put the arrow instead of this. U stands for unit vector, but then you can put the arrow as per our general representation. Okay, you can put U also. U stands for the unit vector, and what unit vector gives the direction. With respect to origin, then what can be the position vector of center of mass? So this is the formula which gives the position vector of center of mass. That formula is R bar equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 divided by M1 plus M2. This is how you will depict the position vector of center of mass for a two particle system. Now, not necessarily every time in a system there would be two particles. There can be n number of particles. But then we generalize this equation for n number of particles then in that case. Alright. So then you generalize it for n number of particles. Say then the number of masses would be like m1, m2 dot 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 mn. And obviously their position vectors would be r1, r2 dot dot rn. Under the given circumstances, the formula then becomes for the position vector equal to r bar equal to m1 r1 bar plus m2 r2 bar plus dot 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 mn rn bar divided by m1 plus m2 plus dot 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 m. So this is a generalized formula for the position vector. Because not necessarily only two particles would be present, right? At times you have to generalize it to n number of particles. Okay, that n can be anything. So this is the equation 2 for n particles. So the same thing, okay, m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus mn rn. This is all represents addition. That addition can be given by this summation sign. Okay, you can see this sign is called as summation sign or sigma. And what it says, you just add MIRI, just mention MIRI, you are adding them. Now where I will have values from 1 to n. This is how you are supposed to read it. Alright, again I repeat. please concentrate. Okay, this is maybe first time you are using this notation. Okay, and that sigma is a Greek notation basically. So whatever is given in equation 2 can be represented in the compressed form like this. It means one and the same. Now how you represent it? Summation or sigma summation of mi where I will have values from 1 to n. That means you keep on adding them till you reach mn rn. That's what it means. Divided by, now if you keep on adding all the masses particles, ultimately you're going to get the mass of the body, so m in a way. So equation 2 can be represented by, you can see, a compressed format given by r bar equal to summation mi where I will have values from 1 to n divided by m where m is the entire mass of the system or mass of the entire system. Okay. Please make a note of it, friends. These are the formulas which you want to use while solving problems. Once you are done with it, let me know.
Sir?
Done, sir.
Okay, fine. So most of you say yes. We'll move ahead then. All right. So these were the methods. Now it's a particle system basically. Okay, at times you can have, let's say, certain points, certain masses lying at certain points, and you can have coordinates of them. And what can be the coordinates in 3 dimensions? Obviously x1, y1, z1 for m1. Similarly, you can see x2, y2, z2 for the center of mass. Anushka is asking, the center of mass is denoted by r. It is r bar. That is the position vector of the center of mass. All right. So center of mass position vector is given by r bar. Yeah. Okay. Now when it yeah, I'll tell you how to represent center of mass. That's why I have extended this discussion further. Okay. So here we are considering the coordinates basically. x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2, and you have n number of particles, so xn, yn, zn. These are the coordinates of these masses. Now, under the given circumstances, you can see how you write the center of mass. The previous version was in terms of position vector of center of mass. Now, center of mass can also have coordinates. So you can see x, y, z. They are the coordinates of center of mass of this entire system which we are talking about. So how we get x coordinate? Simple. It will be summation of mi xi where I will have values from 1 to n divided by m. How you get y? Summation of mi yi where I will have values from 1 to n divided by m. How you get z? In a similar way, summation mi zi where I will have values from 1 to n divided by m. So when you put all these coordinates, okay, x, y, z in such format, then we will call that these coordinates as the coordinates of center of mass, friends. All right, so you can just check out this thing. Then a special case. As I have said earlier also, whenever the shape of the body is symmetrical, you can assume that the center of mass would be situated at the point of symmetry or geometrical center of the body, friends. So for example, if you want to take a ring, now a ring, you can see exactly the center of mass will be situated at the center where there is nothing, like, it's in air. If you talk about a ring, the center of the ring is in air, but the center of mass would be situated there. Why? Because it's a symmetric thing, and at geometrical center you can see center of mass. So what I mean to say is the center of mass may lie inside the body or outside the body. Now, inside the body is very easy for us to understand. Okay, it will lie inside the body. But when it comes to, example where the center of mass lies outside the body, the circular ring is the best example to understand this. Because here the center of mass would be lying outside the body. Maybe inside the ring, but what is there inside the ring? Air, right? Outside the body in a way. So it may lie inside or outside the body, friends. Okay, you can For a sphere, it will lie at a geometrical center. So these are certain things which I wanted to mention. So now if you represent this x, y, z in form of coordinates, basically these coordinates would represent the center of mass of the system or n particles. Please make a note of this and then we move ahead. Please let me know if you're done with it so that we move ahead.
Done, sir.
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Yes. So many of you say yes. So let's carry on with the discussion. Yeah, Sakshi. Okay. Fine. So we will solve some problems on this. Okay, just give me a moment where I share screen with the people, where we solve some problems on center of mass. Okay, so let's see. We have understood the concept, how we work out center of mass. So we need to find out the position vector of center of mass of, you can see 1 kg, 2 kg masses at the points. There are three masses basically. You can see. And the points are 3 I cap plus 2 j cap. You know how a vector is represented. 5 j cap plus k cap, second point, and 2 I cap plus k cap, third point, respectively. We are supposed to find out center of mass. Now, how we work it out? Okay, m1 is given to you as 1 kg, m2 is given to you as 2 kg, m3 is given to you as 3 kg. Now, where are these points located? They are located at some position vector, right? So R1 they say is 3 I cap. So position vector for the first particle is 3 I cap plus 2 j cap. This is how you represent position vector. If you all remember, we have studied this, how we represent it in form of a vector. Similarly, R2 can be represented as, given as 5 j cap plus k bar. R3 given as 2 I cap plus k cap. This is what R3 is doubly represented in this slide. Now, if I want the position vector of center of mass, we all know the formula for it. What was the formula? M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar plus M3 R3 bar divided by M1 plus M2 plus M3. This is the formula which we are going to apply. Now let's understand how to apply it. Okay, applying it would be a tricky thing, but we will try to make it simple. So let's put the values over here. You can see. So M1 is 1 multiplied by R1. So I'm just putting all these values in this formula. You can see 2 into bracket 5 j cap plus k cap, 3 into bracket 2 I cap plus k cap divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3. Now I to I, you can see whatever are the components of I, coefficients of I would be added to I. Whatever are the coefficients of j would be added to j. Whatever are the coefficients of k would be added to k. And so far as the multiplication is concerned, if first case is 1 over here, so 1 into 3 will be 1, 1 into 2 will be 2. Second case, 2 into 5 would be 10, 2 into 1 will be 2, and so on. So let's simplify it. When you solve it, you get 3 I cap plus 2 j cap plus 10 j cap plus 2 k cap plus 6 I cap plus 3 k cap divided by 6. Now we add the coefficients of I. So 3 plus 6, obviously I'll get it as 9. 2 plus 10, I'll get it as 12. And 2 plus 3, I'll get it as, 5. So we get it this way. So the vector would be like 9 I cap plus 12 j cap plus 5 k cap divided by 6, where I cap, j cap and k cap, they all are unit vectors along x, y and z axis, you all know. We are just putting it in 3 dimensions basically, friends. So then you divide 9 by 6 and separate out the terms. So what you get is 9 by 6 I cap plus 12 by 6 k cap plus 5 by 6 k cap. So this is the position vector of center of mass. Okay, please make a note of it. Once you are done with it, we'll move ahead towards the next type of problem. Once you are done with it, please let me know so that we move ahead. Okay. Yeah, Reva says yes. Okay. Let's move ahead then. Okay. So most of you are done with it, I believe. So let's take another problem. Now in this problem, you can see there are four mass particles. And now you are just working it in XY axis, basically, XY plane. So it's a square, you can see. So at A, which is exactly at the origin, mass m1 is placed. So the coordinates will be 0 and 0, obviously, because it's at origin. Then at B, the coordinates where mass m2 is placed, the coordinates would be 0. So x coordinate will be 0 and y coordinate will be 1, because this is a square of side 1, I believe. And then m3, you can see the coordinates would be 1 and 1, obviously. M4, it will be 1 and 0. That means it's a square. So now let's understand this question. Point masses of 1 kg, 2 kg, 4 kg are placed at the corners of the square A, B, C, D respectively, whose each side is 1 meter long. Find the position of the center of mass of the system, taking as origin, M1 as origin, you can say. Consider that. So this is the diagram for the situation given in the problem, friends. There are four mass particles over here. We know the coordinates, so we can find out the coordinates. Okay, so this diagram is very clear to you how we have established the coordinates, right? The initial stage itself, I discussed how we have established the coordinates. All right, then under the given circumstances, x would be given as x coordinate for center of mass will be m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus m4 x4 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4. This would be the formula for x coordinate of center of mass. Y coordinate, so you just put the values for x coordinate, you can see. Just put m1 is 1, x1, you can see here it's wrongly mentioned, I believe, okay? Because if it is m1, we have placed m1 over here, okay? So m1 is 1, so x1 should have been 0. Just check this, okay? Because I believe x1 should have been 0 in this case. So 2, second is m2, m2 is 2, okay? So 2 kg, you can see it's placed over here. So 2 into x2 is 0. So 2 into 0 is correctly taken. M3 is 3, okay. 3 into x is 1, okay. And this is 4 into x is 1, correct. So here ideally it should have been 0 and not 2. Divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is correct. So here you have to make some correction, okay. Here it has to be 0, okay. Please make a note of this so that I can show you how we work out the y coordinate and what is the value for x. Just check it out at home, okay, after the session gets over. You can calculate and check. Once you are done with it, let me know so that we can move ahead. I can show you the next slide where you know the answer for x lies. Okay. Swarali, yes, you can unmute and speak, no problem.
Sorry, sir, it was by mistake.
Swarali, can you be a little louder so that you know I can hear you?
Sorry, sir, it was by mistake.
Okay, fine, no problem, no problem. ठीक है. No issues. Hopefully you are done with this. Now let's move ahead. I'll show you. Here you can see 1 into 0. That's the mistake. Okay, you have to correct that. Okay, 1 into 0. Now let's see what value you get. So you just verify this value at home also. Okay. So here you can see x comes out to be, when you solve this, x comes out to be 7 by 10, that is 0.7 meter. So let's see how it is 7 by 10. So obviously this term is 0. This term is also 0. This is 3 plus 4, 7. So answer is correct. Only the correction has to be made in the step. Here it should be 0. So I got the x coordinate as 0.7 meter. Please make a note of this also. Similarly, I will work out the y coordinate for it. And in this slide, I told you the only correction would be, instead of 2, you should have considered as 0. But finally, the answer is right. Okay. So mostly people say done. So similarly, you can work out the y coordinate. Now, how you work out the y coordinate? You have the formula for y coordinate. Oh, here instead of x, it should be y, typological error. So y coordinate will be given by m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 plus m4 y4 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus m4 friends. Okay. So let's put the values then accordingly. So instead of x, it should be y. Okay. You just make that correction later. Yeah. So 1 into 0, 2 into 1 for y coordinate, you can see 2 into 1. Similarly, 3 into 1, agreed, 4 into 0, divided by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay. So when you simplify it, y coordinate will come out to be 5 by 10, that is 0.5 meter. So here in the entire slide, instead of x, you should put it as y. That's the only change you have to come. Okay, do. So coordinates of the center of mass, then they stand as x equal to 0.7 and y equal to 0.5 meter. This is how you work out the coordinates for center of mass. Please make a note of it. And hopefully you have understood the correction. Instead of x on this slide, should have been y. Yeah. So hopefully done. Most of you say done. So let's proceed further. Okay, just give me a moment. Before I share a new slide with you people. So again, we can just have a look at how we work out the moment of inertia. Sorry, the center of mass of the system basically. So these are the formulas again, for you people to refer. So just like the position vector is given by this formula, the velocity of the center of mass will be given by this formula, where v1, v2, and v3 and vn they stand for the velocities of the particles. Basically. Similarly, acceleration for center of mass can be worked out by this formula m1 a1 plus m2 a2 plus m3 a3 dot 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 mn an divided by this. All right. So where a1, a2, a3, an they stand for accelerations for the corresponding particles. So not necessarily only you can find out the coordinates of center of mass. You can actually find out in dynamics. You can work out the velocity of the center of mass in this manner, acceleration of center of mass in this manner. You can just have a look at it. So F net will be what? Mass into acceleration as per Newton's second law. But acceleration of what? Entire mass is m. Acceleration of center of mass. So this is how you can establish acceleration for center of mass. So x, y, and z coordinates, how you place it, I have already shown you, in the previous slides. So please make a note of this slide as well. Okay, so we move ahead then there onwards. Once you are done with it, please let me know.
Done, sir.
Okay. Yep. Yes. Fine. No issues. Okay. Good. Let's move ahead then. Now, when I say, center of mass for a rigid body, let it be a rigid body. Let's not consider in terms of particles. So the summation sign will be represented by, you can see, the integral sign. Integral, this sign, which you come across is called as integral sign in calculus. It means the same thing. You are summating it. Summation sign, and this means the same. So x cm can also be represented as x dm integration of that divided by the mass. You can see where dm stands for mass of general element. And what is x, friends? So x is the center of mass of that element, general element. And what is capital M? Capital M is the total mass. Okay. Similarly, the y coordinate for center of mass can also be represented in terms of integral sign. integration dm1 divided by m. And similarly, you can work out the z coordinate for center of mass in the similar way, integration of dmz on capital M. Make a note of this. This is another way of representing the same thing. COM stands for center of mass, friends. Here, it's not a particle system. It's a rigid body. It's a not divided into particles. So we are using the integral sign calculus over here to represent the situation. Okay, hopefully you have noted this down. The same thing is being represented in a different format, I'm saying. Okay, hopefully you understand this. Please let me know, give me the feedback so that we move ahead. Okay? Once you're done with it, please let me know. Yeah, so many of you say yes, fine, good. Let's move ahead then. Yeah. Now let's understand how you work out center of mass. Okay, I said geometrical center. So for different regular shape figures, this is a slide which gives you the coordinates for center of mass. You're supposed to remember these coordinates. I mean, again, you won't be deriving it again and again when it is asked in entrance examinations. At times you have to do, smartly remember these values. Okay. So therefore, I'm showing you this slide. For a semicircular ring, if you put it along x and y axis in this manner, you can see the coordinates of center of mass would be 0 to r by pi. Obviously, there is a derivation for this. Directly, they don't come. But then smart work is, to remember where the geometrical center lies. So the top case, you can see everywhere center of mass is lying. COM means center of mass. Okay? Lies at geometrical center. Here also you can see it lies at geometrical center. Here also. It is semicircular plate. If it is a ring, then this is the case. If it is a plate, you understand the difference between the ring and plate. Okay. Then the coordinates would be 0, 4 r by 3 pi. You know what r is. The diagram is very clear. Make a note of this, friends. Okay, once you are done with it, please let me know. Okay, Autonomous is done. So mostly I believe everybody is done with it. There are another regular figures which we come across while solving problems. Here you can see the hollow hemisphere in this manner. Place it along x and y axis. Then the center of mass would lie somewhere here, and the coordinates for this x and y coordinates would be 0 and r by 2. For a solid hemisphere, it would be 0 and 3 r by 8. For a circular cone which is solid, obviously you can talk about this cone. Center of mass lies here, h is the height of the cone. So for solid cone, it will be 0 and h by 4. These are the coordinates. Obviously, first coordinate always represents x, second represents y. This is how we have been representing things. Okay. Had it been a hollow cone, circular cone, then the coordinates for center of mass would have been 0, h by 3. You know very well what h is. The diagram itself is making it clear. Please make a note of this, friends, and let me know if you're done with it.
Yes.
Anish, you want to say something? Once you are done with it, please let me know so that we proceed.